One of the problems with love is we don't know ourselves well enough to know who we want. Introducing Secrets of Birthdays, the Love and Lust Report. You send us your date of birth, we send you a custom video, and we'll talk all about you. The kind of charisma you have, your personality, are you funny, not funny? What's a perfect romance? What's a perfect wedding? What's a perfect home? And what not to do with you. Find out the secret to your heart at secretsofbirthdays.com. End all the uncertainty. Order one now. Namaste, and welcome to Soul Horoscopes Orbits Edition. From my webcam to yours, I'm Christopher Witecki, your astrologer and soul biographer, here to help you put the pieces of your karmic story together. Well, Mother Earth is under the love rays of Virgo. In fact, Chapter 2 of Sun in Virgo, we're going to wrap up Chapter 2 this week. We're working on reality, the IB state of awareness, and we're going to transform our reality this week and become proficient at what we do. By the end of the week, we will step into what I call Master Shui, where we rule our lives literally from our passion. Now, looking at emotions, the moon starts with Love Fest Day on Sunday, and then on Monday, we have a little bit of Sirius as the moon crosses over Saturn in Scorpio. It gets jolly again on Thursday and Friday in Sagittarius, and serious again in Capricorn this weekend. The moon signs most affected are Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, and Capricorn, and on the dark side of the moons, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer. Looking at our orbits, man, emotions are harboring around our throat chakra this week. That's because the moon in Libra and Scorpio. But then by the end of the week, it hits your sinuses. Now, emotions can literally clog you up, especially something you don't want to talk about. Lilith and Jupiter has finally stabilized in our solar plexus, and that means we're not going to have as much digestion issues. And there's a party going on in the heart chakra, and Mercury is now moved up to the throat chakra, which means truths will be spilling out from now through Halloween. Going to be fun. Indeed, those truths, right? Looking at the planets, we have really mostly, I think, the most important trine of the day is this one, Black Lilith at 10 degrees this week, trining Saturn. What this means is that we are really, for some, turning our back on some multi-lifetime deep emotional karma, or at least till childhood. So many people of all ages are kind of, as a whole planet, unifying and saying goodbye to some old karma, in some cases relationships, in some cases emotional damage. But the good news is we are actually healing, folks. This light work actually works. You're going to feel that with that trine. Now, we've been feeling this for a while, the T-square. It was a grand square for a while with Venus, but the good news is having Venus transit through Libra on the opposite side of Uranus, it really gave us the ability to see what's fair, to process through what's fair. And this week, you're going to see some movement on the T-square, or some inner movement anyways, because now you're operating from a sense of justice. That's good news. I'll talk about that upstairs. And then lastly, this is interesting as well, Venus is transiting up into Scorpio. That's the next transit, which means we're going to be creating and destroying, right? Venus is the sign of creativity. Scorpio is the gateway, so relationships, all sorts of things creating and destroying. But it's all trining into Neptune in Pisces, which to me says whatever is being created and destroyed might be fate. That's right. When God, universe, or Pisces energy comes into that sort of interaction or intersection of energy, usually this is the hand of fate, as in certain births, as in, of course, certain deaths, and, of course, certain successes. So that's also something to be looking out for. And then finally, getting close on the planets, as the week starts off, it's Love Fest Day, then Sirius as the moon crosses over that Saturn in Scorpio. And at the end of the week, again, like I said, it gets serious because the moon crosses Pluto in Capricorn. Now, let's take a look at the real important details, the details about you. So climb in the ascension elevator and I'll see you upstairs.
Folks, this is your captain speaking. We realize you have a choice in the astrologers you choose to fly with, and we'd just like to thank you for flying with Christopher Witecki.
Namaste, Captains, and welcome to 33,000 feet for a bird's eye view of you. This is for Capricorns and Capricorn risings. Make sure I have my mic on. Well, we're in the Sun in Virgo, and this is a lighter transit than most, but it has been heavy in some regards because of the nature of all the other stories going on. Capricorns and Cap risings are working on essentially your belief structure. This is your ignorance, this is your sense for adventure or not, this is your life purpose. But up until now, it's been about cutting self-limiting beliefs, ones that come from childhood, that you hold on to for security reasons and then realize they're in the way of your potential. So up until now, you have been cutting self-limiting beliefs, and this might be religion, something your parents taught you, or just things that you concluded wrongly or not to the best interest when you were younger, 20s or 30s, and now you're later in the age. Now, Saturn in Scorpio is causing some personal limit changes, and it's been intense. For you, this is with friendships, with alliances, drawing boundaries, being able to say no to yourself so you can say no to them or no to the public. That's so you can say yes to your heart. So that's been difficult. And you're becoming far more sensitive in all your relationships, more emotional in all your relationships. But the good news is you finally cut away the core bad relationships. Relationships that took too much, relationships that didn't understand or appreciate you. This is a karmic cut. This is something you were born allowing to happen. And now you're going to be changing that forever. So that's good. And then lastly, a struggle for strength. You know, emotional strength, trying to innovate yourself with emotional strength and move forward. This has been a real tug of war with career and decisions and things like that, and a tug of war between ego and relationships. So trying to stay strong and emotionally ground when ego and marriage and everything and sometimes career kind of haywire. That's the Capricorn race. So as we move into this week, we're moving from chapter 2 to chapter 3, where you've been going over your knowledge and your education and coming up with your opinion. That's what everything is, cutting away the self-limiting and false beliefs. This week we move into your collective conscious truth. This is your personal life purpose. And life purpose is what brings you joy all the time. That's what your life purpose is. And your heart is aligned with your belief and purpose. So we're going to try to get there this week, which is going to help change your life incredibly. Now the sun moves from kind of feeling out where you go to maybe a risk, or maybe trying something new, or maybe an emotional risk at the end of the week and a quantum breakthrough if so. Thoughts are already moving ahead in Libra to career and how this life purpose change might affect career and legacy, you Capricorns. Now when it comes to expanding emotions in relationships, you will come to some time of peace. About 3 weeks of peace now in your relationships and your marriage. We finally hit that with your heart and emotions aligned. This week, asking God, universe, and probably being introduced to some new interesting characters this week and in the next 2 weeks. Now, Black Lilith at step 10 says it's time to love and trust that the past will not continue. You'll never marry that type again. You'll never align with that type again. You'll never treat yourself that way again in your marriage. And that's what it's really about that leads to relationships. Then lastly, Saturn in Scorpio. This is the part pushing for you to find your belonging in the world. This week, you're going to still ask God, universe, if you should cut or not cut, belong or not belong. But then at the end of the week, you have to decide, okay, cannot belong in this pool, want to belong in that pool, and really drawing power from those associations. Now, last week, the hard part was the new moon on Lightcast Day. That was Wednesday, Thursday, plus a double whammy. Uranus, some hard news, some hard reality hitting, maybe some breakdown, maybe some egg on your face, maybe not a pretty sight. But by Friday, the light bulb went on, I hope, and over the weekend, some healing of beliefs and maybe to learn something new. Starting this week, it is Love Fest Day on Sunday, and this will be a Love Fest Day that affects career. So I think Capricorns will be super happy, and the Capricorn risings. Love Fest is the most powerful loving day of the month, so you want to put your heart into what you want to manifest. And on this day, you're still kind of searching for what might interest you next or where to point the ship. On Monday, it's time to decide. Time to decide what you're going to study, where you're going to aim, what you're going to learn, where you're going to travel, or where you're going to point your life purpose. At the same time, though, the moon in Scorpio means that you're emotionally having to draw a boundary with the public or a friend on the same day. So Monday is kind of an intense day with the moon in Scorpio. Tuesday, there's a chance of anxiety if you don't take action and move forward with those decisions. So go find out how much it costs for the vacation. Go look up the facts of how to enroll into school. These are all the different things you consider in a ninth house transit. Moon's still in Scorpio, so you're probably social. Be good to get out and see someone on Tuesday. Wednesday, you're loving and trusting everything is going to be okay, and the moon is still making you quite social. If you've got any errands to do them on Wednesday, because on Thursday, things go underground. Thursday, there's a real chance of some anxiety, I'm afraid. We move into Master Shui, so things get very passionate, and the moon goes into your subconscious. So you'll be triggered by dreams or past life issues or self-sabotaging behavior, any of those weeds in the soul garden, and you want to just stay strong, love and trust, and emotionally trust. This is you emotionally trusting you're not wrong, you're not ignorant, and you know what you believe is correct because you said so. Then on Friday, Jupiter does rule the day, and although the moon is still in the subconscious, I think a rainbow comes out inside of you and you feel good. So emotions, I think, feel better. And something opens up, some ray of light. Good day to pray, good day for yoga, good day for any kind of spiritual investment on Friday, especially if you're stuck and don't know where to go next. Go with the flow. If it feels right and you love the idea of it, do it. Try it. Go for it. That's Friday the 13th. Hey, 13th, just don't walk down a dark alley or ride a school bus in the middle of Texas. Then on Saturday, the moon moves into Capricorn, so it's sunny and cool. And I think Saturday is going to be a gravy day for you. For one, Uranus rules the day, so there's going to be some sort of breakthrough when it comes to learning. So you might find some sort of great opportunity. Follow your nose, it always knows. It's a kind of a toucan day. Now, the moon in Capricorn means emotions are are right there with strength, and so you're charismatic and you can come out and talk. Now the moon crosses Pluto at some point, so you're going to find that an old part of your character dies forever. You might also find a shift in your personal relationships because that moon will oppose Jupiter in Cancer. So Saturday is a crazy day. You're going to have a breakthrough, you're going to have a new life purpose, and it might affect all relationships. Interesting, huh? Now I want to make a little invitation. I haven't done this all season so far, but there's some exciting news. It's come down to soulgarden.me. Yeah, I don't know if you ever been down to the mothership, but we have a private social network that we're going to be actually putting the gates up on soon and not letting Google crawl us anymore. But we've got many shows and lots of talent that is broken out over the summer. Master One Feather isn't new, but he is wise. He does tarot card readings basically on Wednesday mornings. We have Dawn Leary doing astrology studies and tutoring later in the afternoon. Then I do magic tutoring with Practical Wizardry. And then after that, Dr. Matt Turner on Wednesdays is doing some live psychic channeling. So you got a whole team of light workers here to help. Then Fridays, we also have quite a day. Melody, our voice guru, will help you step into your voice and use your voice for your own personal power. We now have Zen Shoemaker as Dear Zen. She's a master Taurus teaching people how to manifest and answering your questions live on the air, or if you can email her a question and she'll read it. And then we have Astro Gossip coming back, an oldie but a goodie, with 4 young astrologers that have just joined Soul Garden. So it's some fun times. This, by the way, is Witecki Theater. This is where we all hang out, we all chat. It's beautiful, it's cool, there's no chat room like this. All this is at soulgarden.me, and I implore you to come on down, make a profile, say hi to me. I have a profile, create your little temple. It's a place where you can be yourself. All right, Captains, hey, my only advice for you is to not be too attached to certain details. That's the hard thing. You know, there's thousands of ways to skin a cat, and Capricorns tend to be a little narrow-minded as far as the ways, because if they haven't seen it, they don't think it exists. Well, try to be more Sagittarius. Try to find a duplicate detail or another way of doing the same thing, and from that bridge, you might find a breakthrough. All right, that's all I have for this 7 days. I'll see you in 7 more. Live, love, be. With the moon in Cancer, emotions and intellect are now coming together like a Reese's penis. Oops. Reese's penis.